All right. So welcome. So go ahead and just get yourself in whatever position feels good for you. So you can sit with the legs crossed, legs straight out, legs wide, whatever feels right for your body. We're just going to take our hands to the floor in front of us and just gently start stepping them out, lengthening into the torso and reaching the chest up towards the fingers as we fold forward, and just feel that nice stretch up along the back. Up through the arms, into your hips. And then just gently walk them back up. And we're going to do the same thing behind us. So just kind of walk your hands just gently back and just feel that nice stretch into the shoulders. You can even lift the chest up a little bit. I'll turn sideways so you can see. And then maybe, if it feels comfortable, to come down into the elbows. You can place your hands back at the sacrum. Let the head fall back and lift the chest and just come into a little up bend here. Just take a couple nice deep breaths. And we'll lift the head up first. And we'll just use the hands to push up and come back forward. Let's take our left arm and reach it up to the side. And then we're going to take it to the floor and go ahead and walk those fingers out a little bit, keeping the sit bones pressed in, but maybe reaching that arm out. And just feel how walking that arm can help lengthen here, as long as we're keeping those sit bones grounded. Maybe it's even available to come down to forearm. But if you feel that that opposite hip is lifting up, that's fine. Just stay up onto the fingertips and then reach up with that other arm and extend a little more deeply through that side body. We're going to hold it for a few breaths. Give it any little adjustments to help it feel just perfect for you right now. Take that top hand and just reach it back around to the waist, and then gently bring yourself back up. Great. Let's lift that right hand up. And then take it to the floor, root into those sit bones, walk the fingers out. So I like to use this other hand on my hip to just monitor whether I start to, oh, there goes my hip. So I'm going to stay right up here on my fingertips. Soften into that stretch, and then take the upper arm over the head, lengthening a little bit deeper. Nice. And again, we're going to be here for a few breaths, so give some subtle movement here in the shoulder, along that side body, see what feels good. And bring that hand back down to the waist, and then slide. Awesome. So we're going to take a few twists, but I'd like for us to start up at the cervical spine first, so in the neck. So we're going to keep our hands on our knees, and if you have your legs crossed, why don't you go ahead and switch them. Very small change, but You might notice that there's an awkwardness in your hips when you do that. We have that habitual way that we like to cross the legs automatically, and so just being mindful of changing that up can help reset into the hips, into the spine. And we're just gonna look over your left shoulder. So pivot your head, chin reaches towards that shoulder. Feel the top of the head lifting towards the sky. And let's take it over to the other side. Press into the sit bones nice and long. Pull your shoulders back and down. So see if you can stay nice and long and stable from those sit bones up to the shoulders. And let's just smoothly turn the head side to side. Keeping that base of the head where the ears and everything are to just stay back over the shoulders. So we're not going to tilt the head forward at all just yet. Good. Now, as you start to look, go ahead and we're going to look in the direction of the left shoulder. Begin to pull that left shoulder back. Feel the spinal twist happening down the back. And that opposite shoulder can come forward, keeping the hands on the knees. And gently come back and take it to the other side. Feel that left shoulder come forward while that right shoulder pulls back. Allowing the chin to reach a little bit further back behind. So let's inhale and come back to center here. Hands stay on the knee. Exhale, take that twist. Inhale, coming back. And exhale, take that twist. Do that a couple more times, your own breath pace. Staying long in the spine. Feeling that twisting movement. And we'll come back to center. We're going to take the arms out to the side now. And we're going to take that left hand, reach it way back behind us. The right hand's going to come all the way across and take that spinal twist a little bit deeper. Can you feel the deeper twists? Drop the shoulders down the back. Top of the head lifts towards the sky. Let's come back to center. And take it over to the other side. Just stay there for another breath. And coming back. Awesome. We're going to take our, we're going to take our hands to the knees, and we're going to get a little bit more into just some focused neck movement. So now we're going to drop the chin to the chest. Lift the sternum so that it reaches up towards the chin as well, so we can see if we can get the two to try to kiss right underneath of our chins. Gently roll the left ear to the left shoulder. Sway the head with control over to the other direction, right ear to right shoulder. Just go ahead and go side to side. Notice any feelings, any sensations, any muscles that are trying to talk to you right now in the neck or in the shoulders. So just listen. The next time you bring the head over, ear to the shoulder, let the head fall back. Look up at the sky. Let it follow through smooth, slow circles. See if you can just let the head roll like a ball at the end of a string. So we're trying to convince those muscles of the neck, those muscles that are working so hard all day long, holding up the head. We're just letting them know right now they can just relax, soften. The next time you bring your chin to the chest, take those circles in the other direction. Notice if there's any differences in sensation, any differences in those messages that those muscles of the neck and the shoulders are sending to you. We'll take it one more time through, dropping the chin to the chest. Shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back and down, and then lift the head up. Nice. All right, we're going to bring the hands in front of us now and roll over to the hands and knees. Go ahead and just sit down onto your heels for a moment, or if that's not comfortable, you can open the feet up wide. So we're going to just focus a little on this shoulder movement for cat-cow. So we're going to hold our hands out in front of us. Drop those shoulder blades back and down. We're going to turn the palms up so that the thumbs are reaching out to the sides and start to reach the pinky fingers up towards the sky. This is our external rotation. We want to feel this when we are doing cow pose. That little arching of the back and pulling the chest through like a back bend. Now turn the palms all the way over so that they're facing the floor, and then thumbs reaching down towards the floor. Notice now how the shoulders kind of want to crowd in. This is our internal rotation. This is what we want our shoulders to do when we go into cat pose. So just go ahead and try this rotation. Open up the heart and externally rotate. You can reach those hands out to the side. And then exhale, round your back and spin your hands so that the shoulder blades reach up to the ears. Do that one more time here. Inhale, open. Exhale. Great. We're going to place our hands down to the floor. Find our tabletop pose. Middle fingers are pointing straight out in front of us. Fingers are wide. Grip into the fingertips. Slight bend in the elbow. Maybe you can even move around the shoulders and just feel that movement while you keep your hands grounded in. Our knees are beneath our hips. Draw the belly button back towards the spine, and here we go. Go ahead, externally rotate just the upper arm and lift the chest up, sternum towards the ceiling. Find your cow pose here. We have our external rotation. Keep that grip in the hands. Now round the back and internally rotate and feel the spine lifting towards the sky. Good. Take your time here with the journey. Go ahead and just smoothly move through your cat-cow. And as you do this, really focus on that rotation in the shoulders. You can even exaggerate it a little bit as you move through. Just do it a few more times. And then we're going to come into a child's pose. Sinking those hips back, reach those fingers out in front of you. See if you can lift the palms of the hands and grip in with your fingertips and then walk the fingers, a little crab walk, maybe an inch further. Keeping those hips back. Notice that deeper stretch all up the sides of the ribs. You can lengthen in the back of the neck and let the forehead find the ground. Coming into that full child's pose. Feel the release here. Great. Go ahead and lift the head. We're going to plant those hands a little bit more as we come back up to the tabletop. Forward to a knee plank and just bend the arms a little bit. Pull the shoulders back and down and hug the shoulder blades to your rib cage. Just a little chaturanga on the knees, and we're going to take it back to child's pose. And just rotate back and forth here. You can do this with the breath if that feels good. And each time you come forward, maybe see if you can find a little bit of an up bend or even a full back bend into cobra. And exhale, reset back into your long, lengthened child's pose. Do this a few more times. Taking that extra time to just enjoy the movement of the muscles. And then we're going to take it into a little bit more of a flow. Good. Forward into cobra. Exhale back to child's pose. Forward into cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Stay in child's pose. Slide those hands to the knees. And we're going to come up and reach up overhead. Yes. Feel this lengthening here. Go ahead and turn your toes over so that your heels reach up. We're going to take our left hand down to the left heel. Press into the knees. Push the hips forward. Brace into the core and feel that lifted heart into your half camel pose. Good. Go ahead and just bring that hand down while the other hand comes up and find your half camel pose on the other side. Notice any differences here. Your body will give you lots of great information. You can tune into habits that we hold in our bodies throughout the day. And bring it back up. Reach those arms up. We're going to round the back and come down to our cat pose. Inhale to cow. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale forward to cobra. And back to child's pose. Now sweep those arms up overhead, lift, and round the back to cat. A little bit more movement here. Inhale to cow. Exhale, sink into those hips. Inhale forward to cobra. Exhale back to child's pose. We're going to do that one more time through. Reach those fingers up overhead and then round the back. Feel this. Remember internal rotation as we land into our cat pose and then externally rotate, pulling through that heart. And then exhale to child. Inhale forward into cobra. And back to child's pose. Stay in child's pose. We're going to just walk our hands over to one side. Keeping those hips back. Feel that nice stretch. See if you can feel the armpits dropping towards the floor. And take it over to the other side. Walk it back to center. Let's press up into our tabletop. Turn the toes over and find our first downward facing dog. Play around here. We're going to stay here for a few moments. So just maybe lift and stretch the heels towards the ground. Alternate pressing them down. Draw the belly button back towards the spine and then pull the spine back towards your thighs. Hips reach back. Nice. Go ahead and drop to the knees. We're going to sit on our heels again. And we're going to reach those arms out. We're going to externally rotate them. Take your right hand and grab a hold of your left upper arm. So as we hold that, your palm is facing the ceiling. Now, keeping your upper arm where it is, rotate just the forearm so the palm faces down. This is what we want to do with our downward facing dog. Good, so let's come back. Let's do the other side. So feel that external rotation. Grab the upper arm. You can even give it a whole other twist. And then pronation, palm faces down by just moving the lower arm. Great, let's take those hands out. Externally rotate at the shoulder. Internal or medially rotate at the forearm. Let's put it into action here. Coming back to our tabletop. Lean into the hands. Start to find that external rotation. Lift the knees and push back. So the shoulders are dropped away from the ears. That lets the chest fall towards the thighs. And then pressing in the base of your pointer finger. That's going to help find that pronation. That's going to help us keep our wrists light and find length in the spine. Your head should be able to just hang completely loose here, wiggling around. Let's look in between the hands and bring the feet forward. Bend nice and deep into the knees and just let the upper body fold forward. You can let them just lay on your thighs and just hang out here. Let that whole back side of the body release. Let the head go limp. Bend a little deeper. Feel the entire foot press into the ground as if you were getting ready to jump. And then pressing up, rooting through the ground, lifting the arms up, and coming into our mountain pose. Nice. So we're going to go through some sun salutations, and we're just going to build it up. Just heat the body, working in lots of different directions today. Let's lift the arms up and find that forward fold. Halfway lift. Hands come down, step back to your downward facing dog. Remember that external, then internal rotations. Shoulder blades should be hugging up around the sides of the ribs. We're going to drop down to our knees. We're going to pull the chest through into a cobra and then push it back into the child's pose. Gently bring it up to your hands and knees and then push back to downward dog. Look in between your hands and bring the feet forward. Halfway lift. Deep fold. Remember that feeling of pressing into the ground like you're getting ready to jump. Use that sensation to help root you strong as you drive up through your extended mountain and then end in Tadasana. So that's the vinyasa I'm going to do today, dropping to the knees, cobra back to child's pose, and then coming to downward dog. If you have a vinyasa that feels like the one that's perfect for you, finish your sun salutation with that. I'm going to cue what I'm doing today, but this is your practice, so do what your body needs. Let's find that strong mountain pose, pressing in the feet, drawing the thighs together, lifting the heart, lifting up the arm, and find that forward fold. Halfway lift, downward dog. Nice, drop to the knees and pull the chest through into a cobra. Sink back to child's pose. And bring it to the hands and knees, toes turn over, downward facing dog. Look between the hands and bring the feet forward. Halfway lift, deep fold. Root into the ground and strong. Come on up, reaching to the sky. And return. Mountain pose. Great, we're going to add a little bit. Here we go. Reach those arms up. And forward fold. Taking our time, smooth control. Halfway lift. Downward dog. From here, we're going to take that left leg and lift it up behind us. Go ahead and bend that knee. Open the hip a little bit. You can turn to the side, whatever feels good. Go ahead and square back, straighten that leg. And we're going to step the foot through. Anchor into that front foot. Press the front foot, just like we did before we came to our standing mountain. Feel that front leg take on the action. Begin to lift the arms up. And then as you rise up, shifting weight to the back leg into our crescent pose. Feel that lengthening down the hip flexor of the back reaching leg. Driving in the base of the big toe in that front foot. Knee planted, hovering above the ankle. Shoulders roll back and down. Heart floats. So let's take it back to downward dog. Nice. Right leg lifts. You can go ahead and bend that knee. Open up the hip. Whatever feels best for you. Good. Square the hips back. And let's step that foot through. Take some time here. Really feel how to transition. Locking in, that front foot takes on the weight. The inner thighs start to draw towards each other. And then as you lift up, there's stability as the back leg takes on half of the weight. And we lift up. Yeah. See if you can sink a little bit deeper here. Feeling that nice deep stretch. Lifting the heart. And bring it back to downward dog. Let's finish off with our vinyasa. So you can do whatever you want. Lots of people love to do that upward dog. I'm feeling a little more soft in my work here. So I'm going to continue with my cobra child's pose. Downward dog. Finishing off to end. Into our mountain pose. Great, let's do that one. This time just a nice smooth movement. We know what the moves are gonna be now. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Downward dog. Remember, stay here for just a moment. Remember those rotations we talked about in the arms. And then let's lift the left leg up and step it through. Lock it in as you rise up. And we'll take it right back down. Lots of control. That lower body is locked in, stable. Right leg lifts and steps. We're going to take it up and back to downward dog. Finish off with your vinyasa. What feels good in your body today? We'll all meet back into mountain pose. Awesome. We're going to add a little rotation this time. Sweeping up those arms. And forward fold. Halfway lift. Downward dog. Left leg lifts. And step. We rise up. So we're going to take this into a full rotation. So the first thing we're going to do is open the arms wide. You're going to reach the right hand out in front, and the left hand reaches straight back behind. See if you can keep the hips squared, rotating through your spine. Come on back, forward. We're going to rotate the back foot 90 degrees and just open up into warrior two. Good. Let's see if we can find that again. Go ahead and pivot back into your warrior one or your crescent. We're going to open it out to the side, twisting, and then open it up. Yeah. One more time. I've got a fun little thing here for us to do with our arms to really kind of expand it out. Let's come back into our crescent. Find your twist. The arm reaching back behind you. We're going to let it drop as if it was going to smack us in our hiney. But that's going to just lead us through into more of a windmill action into our warrior two. We're going to extend that warrior two into a reverse. Aha. Yes. Cartwheel your hands down. Let's step back to down dog. And let's do it on the other side. Lift the right leg and step it through. And reach up. Find that crescent pose. We're going to play with the rotation first. So just open the arms wide and twist. Feel that. It goes all the way down through those hip flexors as you extend that opposite arm forward. And then just open up, rotate that back foot. Let's try it again. Hinging. Open the arm. We twist. And then keeping those arms spread out, we open. And last time, let's take it back to crescent. Open it up. So remember that back hand is going to drop down and allow the other arm to sweep out like a windmill. Warrior two. Follow it through. Reverse warrior. And cartwheel those hands. Let's finish off our vinyasa. However you want to finish your vinyasa. We'll come to our mountain pose. Sweep it up. And return. Nice. Shake that out a little bit. I'm going to grab a drink. Feel free to grab a drink if you need. Please remember, if at any time your body wants to take a drink, wants to take a break, you can come down to whatever pose feels good for you. You can come to a child's pose or any other pose that you might feel your body needs. We're going to go through that flow again, and then we'll add one more thing to it, and then we'll come back for deeper stretching. So let's find our mountain pose. Activate into the feet. Feel it from the ground. Feet pressing in. Feel that activation as if you were pulling up a tight pair of socks. Feel that pulling up of the muscles, drawing in of the thighs, lifting of the heart. Sweep those arms up and forward fold. Halfway lift, downward dog. Reset back into your rotations in the arms here. Just notice you might be falling back into some other habits, so just reset. And let's lift that left leg up and step it through. Rise up. Great, let's find our twist with the open arms. Dropping that back arm open to that reverse warrior. And then use that momentum forward to cartwheel down, downward dog. Other leg lifts and steps. Rise. Find that twist and open. Reverse. And then cartwheel. Finishing off your vinyasa. Whatever helps your body reset. And ending in our mountain pose. Great, we're gonna just add one more to that flow. Here we go, inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. Halfway lift, downward dog. Left leg lifts and steps. We press up strong to crescent, and then we twist. Good. Open to reverse. Now we're going to bring the elbow forward, extended side angle. Let's see how deep we can go here. So maybe let that back foot slide a little bit back and sink down to the hips a little bit more. Reaching. Yeah. We're going to warm it by holding it for a few breaths. And then press into the feet. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Hold this as the upper body floats back to reverse. And then we cartwheel. Yes. Lift the other leg up. Step it through. And come on up into your crescent. Into your wide arm twist. And open into your reverse. Elbow comes forward. And then just notice, is it available to come a little deeper? Stretch a little longer. Press those feet in. Squeeze the inner thighs together and support the upper body to float back to reverse and cartwheel. Finish off your vinyasa. We're going to just go through that one more time. And then we'll take it into some deeper stretches. Here we go, reaching the arms up and full. Halfway lift, downward dog. Left leg lifts and steps. We rise up. Find your twist. And then open into reverse. Elbow comes, so see if you can deepen just through this forward motion. And then hold that deep, low side lunge as you come back to reverse. Cartwheel to downward dog. Right leg lifts and steps. Reach it up. Find your twist. And spin it open. Elbow comes forward. Back to reverse. And let's cartwheel. And let's stay in our downward dog here. Reset back into those shoulder movements. Feel the shoulder blades dropping down. Feel the base of the pointer finger pressing in, helping that internal rotation of the forearm. We're going to lift the left leg up and step it through. Drop the back knee. Soften into this stretch here. Hips are going to reach towards the ground. Brace gently into the core so that the lower back stays supported. Let's take the left hand and push it to the knee. drop the right shoulder, lift the left shoulder up, draw the belly button back and see if you can find this nice deep twist, like the belly button's trying to peek out up and over your thigh. As you allow that hip of the extended leg to reach a little closer to the ground. Be careful to keep a nice gentle micro bend into the elbow of that hand that's supporting us. You don't want to lock it out because that will also lock it up into the shoulder. So let's keep everything engaged. Beautiful alignment, strength and softness. We'll come on back, squaring to the front, and we're going to shift our weight back into a hamstring stretch. Feeling the stretch here in the back of the leg. Taking a few breaths. Yeah, let's just bring it forward. Come on back to tabletop. Maybe do a couple cat-cows here to kind of reset a little bit. You can wiggle the hips side to side. And let's bring forward that right foot. And find that nice deep iliopsoas stretch. Again, think of external rotation here. Roll the shoulders down. This is going to help that heart float forward. Soft micro bend in those elbows. And then maybe find your twist. See if that belly button can peek out over top of the thigh. Remember the shoulders pulling away from the ears. And that soft, gentle bend in the elbows. Lengthen out through the top of the head and extend through the toes of that back-reaching leg. Sinking the hip deeper and deeper towards the ground. Gently bring it back and let's shift our weight into that hamstring stretch. Half splits, half Hanumanasana. And gently bring it forward. Let's come back to our tabletop. Let the knees come nice and wide. Bring the toes together and shift back into your child's pose. Wide knee child's pose. Now, if this isn't comfortable for you, please feel free to do whatever feels best for you. Our goal is to soften into the hips. Reaching those hips back to the heels and letting the chest fall and melt to the ground. Gently just lift up. We're going to walk the hands to the knees and sweep the feet forward. Come back to our seated position. We're going to stretch to the inner and the outer thighs. So starting with the inner thighs first, we'll just come into, this is one of my favorite ones. So if you've taken classes with me before, you know we do this almost at the end of every class. Letting the legs come out wide, feeling those sit bones pressing in. The spine's tall, we're reaching out through the crown of the head. Put your hands on your thighs. Fingertips are in the front, thumbs are pointing back behind, and then just rotate so your thumbs start reaching towards the floor. Pinky toes start reaching back to the floor behind you, chest comes forward. Turn sideways here to just demonstrate as I do this rotation, keeping that extended spine and hinging forward. If it feels available to maybe come down onto the forearms or just bringing the hands down, just making sure we avoid rounding in the back. Rounding in the back is going to take that stretch out of the inner thigh, and that's our goal here. We're looking to stretch into specific muscles, isolating. And gently walk the hands up. Cup under the knees, and just pull the feet to the floor in front. A little bit of an outer hip stretch. We're just going to take the left foot and slide it underneath so that the heel comes over to the other buttock. And then if it's available, you can let that other foot hop up and over, but it can be anywhere that feels comfortable and still being able to ground both sit bones in. We're just going to hug that knee while pressing into the sit bones and feeling this nice stretch into the right hip. If you feel like you want a little bit more, you can take the left arm and really wrap it nice and tight, finding a little bit of a spinal twist here as you press in deeper and lift up taller. And if you want to extend deeper into that twist, you can reach the right arm around and pull yourself into that deeper spinal twist. While you're here, this is a compression pose. See if you can find lots of space to place a deep inhale. The lungs might be compressed from expanding fully, but maybe you can push a little down into your toes. Maybe you can find some space in the hips. Maybe even find some in the back of the neck. Let's unwind and take it to the other side. So take your time transitioning out of the one side and into the other, taking each of those steps, holding it for a few breaths, and noticing any differences. We oftentimes hold our bodies in ways that favors one side or the other. It's just habit, especially when we have to spend long periods of time doing things, so standing or sitting in certain ways. And these types of poses where we practice on one side and then the other can really clue us in to what some of those imbalances create. You want to take it a little bit deeper. That opposite arm can wrap around, but still drive both of those sit bones in. You might notice one side gets a lot more sensation than the other, and that's okay. The practice is just about finding that balance. Allowing ourselves to listen to the body. You want to take that twist a little deeper, feel free to do that. And let's go ahead and release. We're going to come on to our backs. Grab those knees, pull them to the chest, and give yourself any final poses here that you would like. Take about 1 minute. You might want to do some hip openers or Nice deep stretches. If you like to end your practice with an inversion, feel free to hop up into a plow pose or shoulder stand. Whatever helps you seal your practice. Perhaps you want to take a more restorative type of pose. We have a few options for our meditation pose. You can lie in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined, bound, angle pose. Keeping those feet pressed together, the knees wide, lying back. Or if you would like, you can actually turn the hips differently so that the knees kiss each other and the feet reach out to the side. This is going to soften and stretch into a different part of the hip. So maybe just feel around and see what feels good to you. And you always have the option to take that traditional Shavasana where the legs are straight, palms out to the sky. You're also welcome to place your hand on the heart and the belly, whatever feels good for you, as we just take the next moment to bring our awareness into the breath. Watching the inhales and the exhales. Feeling the breath coming in and washing through the body, carrying away every bit of tension held in the muscles and the joints. Feel the breath washing through the mind, washing away those old stagnant thoughts. Those thought patterns that no longer serve us, carried away on the breath. Feel the breath washing through the center of the chest where the heart resides, knocking away any heaviness, loosening anything that feels stuck and letting it wash away, carried away on the exhale and leaving us feeling light and open. So we just allow ourselves to melt into this flow of the breath. Gently bring your awareness back into the body. Taking a deeper breath and feeling it washing through and waking up the muscles. Wiggle our fingers and toes, the wrists and the ankles, And inhale, lift the arms up overhead, stretch the toes like that first morning yawn. And exhale, pull the knees to the chest. Giving them a big hug and then letting them go as we gently roll to one side and take a moment to bring in your surroundings. Feel the space that you've created for yourself and honoring yourself for showing up today, putting the effort into your practice. So we gently make our way to a seated position, hands at heart, perhaps set our intentions, holding the space that you've created for the rest of the day or the rest of the week. Maybe share it with others. And we'll end our practice with one more breath together. Inhale, lifting the arms up overhead. Exhale, palms returning full circle back to the heart. Thumbs lifting to the third eye. And bowing to the light that's within all of us. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the practice today.